Welcome to our tutorial about the Action Recorder. Let's go to the Manage tab. This is where the Action Recorder panel is located. What an Action Recorder does is record action macros, similar to Visual Basic macros that we learned about in Volume 2 of this course. In other words, when you press Record, you create geometry. Then, when you're done, you press play and AutoCAD will recreate that geometry for you automatically. So it's a pretty convenient tool. You don't need to know any scripting to make it happen. Let's begin by pressing record. There's a pin at the bottom of the action tree panel. Let's press it so the action tree stays open and doesn't auto-collapse. Act Macro 001 is our default name. Now as I move my mouse in model space, a red dot appears next to the cursor. This is my reminder that my action is being recorded. I'm going to activate the line tool by typing line. And as you see, the first item in our tree appears. It's a line. Next, I'm going to specify the first point, or I'll just make a selection in model space. Let me type 5, tab to register, 7.5, and then press enter to accept our first point. Our second step is recorded in the action tree, the coordinates of the line. Activate ortho mode, and let's create a line that's 5 units long. Press enter. Let's create a second line of 5 units, enter, and a third line of 10 units. Press enter. Another 5-unit line, enter, and let's make the last line 10 units. Enter to accept. And right-click and enter to close the line tool. That little red dot tells us we're still recording. Let's create a couple circles now. Just type in C for circle and press enter. Center point, I'm going to snap to this vertex. Next is the radius value. Let's say 2 units. Press enter to accept. Now let's copy this circle. I want to place a copy right over here to this corner. Type in CO and press enter. This activates the copy command. Let's select the circle. Right-click to finish the selection. Select the base point, the center point, and the copy to point. And here's our copy. We're done. Let's right-click and exit. We need to choose exit instead of enter. But right now, let me choose enter to show you what happens. No value was recorded. I can use the value that's current at playback, or I can use the current default value. I'm going to use the second option. And now exit is recorded in the action tree. At this point, we're done our recording. Let's click Stop now. The Action Macro dialog window opens. Here's the Action Macro command name, the file name, and the folder path. Down below, I'm able to type a description. Let's click OK. And let's test our Action Macro. Let's select and delete the geometry since we created, since AutoCAD's going to create new geometry in the exact same spot. Okay, we're ready to press play. It's the little triangle button, you'll recognize it. And there we go, it is completed. AutoCAD gives us a prompt to let us know that it's done, and we click close. Very simple. Let's select and delete our geometry, and let's learn how to further customize our script. Okay, let's right-click on the line command and select Insert User Message. I'm going to type in a text message. Let's say text message. And click OK. And let's play the macro again. There's the user message. Click OK. And there is our macro executed. Playback's over. Let's click Close. Let's window select and delete this geometry. Now I'm going to right-click on the line command, Insert Base Point. I'll select some arbitrary point in model space. The Specify Base Point item now appears in my tree. Okay, let's play our macro. There's the user message. Click Close. Now we're prompted for the base point. Let's make our selection. And after this, the macro executes. Let's close. Okay, let's select and delete our geometry. Now let's change the radius of the first circle. I'll scroll down to its node in the action tree, right-click on the radius value, select Edit, and let's input 3 units. Enter to accept, and let's play the action again. Close the test message, Select the base point, and the geometry executes. Let's click Close. Once again, we'll select and delete the geometry. Okay, let's select this node of the action tree, right-click, and select Pause for user input. As you can see, the icon in the tree changes. Let's play our action. There's the user message. Close it. Select the base point. The macro executes up to the point in the action tree where we opted to pause for user input. We select our center point and the macro executes. Let's click Close. All right, let's take a moment to explore some of the action recorder preferences. Click this button here. We can expand the panel on Playback, on Recording, and prompt for the action macro name. Let's cancel out and open the Action Macro Manager. At the bottom left of this window is an Options button. Let's click on that. And here, for example, we can change the file location. We can provide additional locations, for example, on a corporate network. Let's cancel out of this dialog window. Now select the macro. Let's click Copy. Accept the default name, as well as the file name and path. Let's click OK. And from the Action Macro Manager, I can rename, modify, or delete. Okay, let's close this dialog window. From this drop-down menu, I can select my first or second action macros. This concludes our tutorial about the Action Recorder.